Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. My name is Chantel, and I'll be your host for today. This is actually our third webinar. It's called Loving Others Without Losing Yourself. So save my sanity. So welcome, everyone. Now, just to share, some of you may probably think I'll see that People Hive is the first time. So I'll just do a little short introduction on what People Hive actually does. So this is just an introduction here. So we do two main things, which is customized development programs, such as the leadership and culture. And the other one is we're going through culture and learning app and HR automation. Now, I'm not going to go through very details on this, right? I will actually put in a comment box and you will be able to have a look at it, right? Now, some of you may actually ask me like, hey, what is this Save My Sanity about, what are you guys doing about this? Now, let me share you a very short video, right, on why or how that we actually come up with these topics. So I will share the video and let you enjoy the video, yeah? Hi everyone, so we're back. Now there's a really short video on why we actually came up with Save My Sanity webinar. So this is the third one. Yeah, so everybody who came in also, hi, welcome back, coming in. So what we're gonna do now is that I will actually give you a link later for those of you who are interested in the survey, curious about the survey on working moms that we did for more than 800 moms. We will paste it in the comments later and you can actually check it out. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce our speaker for today, actually Miyen. Now, she's a very busy lady. She's very popular, okay? She's really quite popular, so it's really hard to get her time. Just to introduce, she's actually a clinical psychologist, yeah? And what she does is really quite interesting because she actually does crisis interventions for, I'm sure that you know about MH17, MH370. So she did crisis intervention for them. She did a lot of on the crisis intervention for workplace suicide. She did on tsunami. And her experience-wise in psychology, in talking about behavioral therapy and parenting and couples and marriage therapy, this is the person that you would want to meet, all right? So I'm going to bring her on, yeah? So everybody who's actually listening, if you're excited, you can put a thumbs up so to welcome her in, or I'm not sure whether you can have a clap hand icon, but yeah, so let's welcome Miyen to come in here, yeah?
Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, Chantel. Hi. Thank you for your generous introduction of myself. And, naturally, I'm excited to be participating in this series of webinar, Save My Sanity. I think all of us need this right here, right now. Yeah. So when you invited me, I was naturally excited to accept. And here I am this afternoon on your third series to share with our audience this afternoon. So, but audience, I need to warn you, we may leave you hanging because Chantal only dedicated 45 minutes for our segment and my topic is pretty huge, yeah? So I do not know, maybe if it's like a lot of questions from you guys and we could not cover the areas that I wish to cover, we could always probably have another segment another time. Yeah. So this is what I would like to see, because naturally this topic, loving others without losing yourself, it is a huge topic. But what I've prepared for everyone this afternoon is that I'm just going to give you 4+4 tips. Yeah, 4+4 tips. Yeah, I would not be able to dive into each of these skills, yeah, because I cannot teach the coping skill on a short webinar, but I hope I can highlight to you. And if you find that these 8 tips are workable, that's where perhaps you can look at further training and so on and so forth. But you can actually apply it right here, right now after our webinar, these 4 tips, yeah? So anyway, this is where I've prepared these 4 tips as a simple or short essential skill, yeah, essential skill for all of us, men and women. Yeah, it's working mothers doesn't mean that we are neglecting our working fathers. So this essential skill is for women and men, for them to develop their self-effectiveness and their relationship effectiveness. Yeah, because everybody needs that for them to cope with their individual area, their family, their workplace, and of course, within the community itself. Yeah, we do live in a community. So with this pandemic, so it threw us off the board, and therefore, I think a lot of us are experiencing, unexpected challenges or stresses. Yeah, so therefore, I hope that this afternoon, these 8 tips, will be something that you can help yourself with. Yeah, so that's our hope. Yeah, right, Chantel?
Yes, I hope so. Yes, we hope that you can help people, especially during the pandemic. Like me and you, right? You said there's so many people who are, it's something like unheard of, and it's going to be unheard of in centuries. That is something is this scale to us, right, and impact everyone basically. Not even in countries, it's international and global, right, and everywhere. So that's something that we hope that you guys can learn. Now, also probably I want to add is that I'm sure that you guys have questions, a lot of questions, right? So what you can do is you can type it into the YouTube or the Facebook, can type it on. But I do know sometimes you may have some questions which are quite sensitive or you wouldn't want people to know about, right? I'm going to paste a link here, all right, where you can actually type in your questions and it's going to be anonymous, right? I will pick up the questions and I will actually put it in the comment and we will actually talk about it, but we won't say any names. So because I know sometimes this topics can be quite a little bit sensitive and it's a little bit private, especially on parenting and, like family. So you can type it in there if you have any questions, yeah? And also that Miyen will probably sharing what she's going to do is, correct me if I'm wrong, Miyen, you're going to share all the 8 tips for us. And then you answer the questions, because if not, Miyen will be like, oh, this and that. So don't worry, just type in all your questions, all right? And we will actually answer you once Miyen has finished the 8 tips. Is that all right, guys? And girls and women, I believe all humans are no animals. Good that we have animals watching us. Right. So I'll pass this session on to you, Miyen, so you can take over.
Okay. Okay, so like I mentioned, I'm going to have 8 tips. The first tips, I'm going to focus on managing ourselves, because this is utmost important, Healthy self will lead to healthy couple, right? If we ourselves are healthy, hopefully the other partner is also healthy, then it will be healthy couple. So when an individual adult is healthy or are able to handle stresses, naturally, they will be more healthy in their relationship with their partners and co-parenting area too. So that's why I want to start with the self. And of course, this is where afterwards I'm going to talk about the healthy couple or healthy family, which refer to relationship with others. So all this combined, starting from ourselves, then as a couple, then as a family. If all this whole system is healthy, naturally, we will be healthier when we are at the workplace or at the community itself. That's my hope. And this model, in fact, it is not new. I've been actually teaching this since 2010. This is even before the pandemic. Usually when I have, stress management classes or resilient classes, I always say that let's start with these 4 practices. So let's go through these 4 practices, and I make it very easy. Relationship with ourselves. So this refers to SELF. So easy to remember, right? SELF. So the first S refer to self-care. And self-care, in fact, Of course, naturally, it refers to the bigger area of physical aspect of our health. And do you know that this year, during the International Women's Day, a survey was done internationally and it was found 62% of women says that they don't have time to find out about their health because they're just too busy working and caring for the family, the children. Yeah, so 62% is a high percentage that they don't have time to look into their physical health. So therefore, this step one of the practice is self-care. Please go back to look into the self-care area of healthy eating, healthy sleeping, healthy exercise, and inclusive of remembering to check what is my stress level today or what is my stress level this week. Yeah, so all this I put under self-care and a lot more. Yeah, but I'm just going to give you these G's, yeah, because I can't go into too detail. Very quickly, I want to go into the step two of the practice that's important for healthy self is what I call express yourself. And this is important because a lot of us tend to suppress ourselves, not speaking up, not asking for help, and therefore we end up much more stressful. And one day, because of the suppressed stresses, yeah, or suppressed emotion, yeah, you may actually lash out, and then that's where fight an argument may happen. Yeah, anger are exploded. Yeah, so it's very important that we actually learn to be assertive, express ourselves. Yeah, asking for help when we need to. Yeah, so this second skill is very important. The third skill, yeah, the theme of our webinar today, loving others without losing yourself. This refers to self-compassion practices because we struggle a lot in this modern day life, yeah, with so many different type of challenges, uncertainty, rapid changes. Yeah, the first thing we need to do is to remember to be kind and compassionate towards ourselves due to our own struggle. If we are harsh and critical, yeah, or we are judgmental towards ourselves, or we doubt ourselves, yeah, that can cause us to be having low confidence, demotivated, and not able to cope. Self-compassion practice is a huge area. Yeah, in fact, the program that I always conduct, mindfulness plus self-compassion, is actually an 8 weeks program. Each week is 2.5 hours. So today I'm just going to be like, telling you and giving you the indication here. But that is the third practice, the L, loving others without losing yourself. It is an official quotation, by the way, that we use in our mindful self-compassion program. The fourth step or the last step under this self category refer to fulfillment of ourself. What do I mean by that? Yeah, what I mean by this category, fulfillment of self, I actually to refer to the area of spirituality. Yeah, are we so busy that we have neglect, our area of devotion and spirituality? Or even, another area of fulfillment of selves, I always quote about gratitude practice, because in the world of positive psychology, gratitude practice has been shown by research to be increasing our happiness by 25%. 25%, it can increase our happiness if we actually practice gratitude on a daily basis. Yeah, so I park the gratitude practice and of course our respective spiritual practice under this fulfillment of self. Yeah, so this is the first 4, healthy self. Chantal, can I go to the next 4? Yeah, I think let's do that. And then, then we open out for our dialogue and question from them. Yeah, so okay, Chantal has given me the slide for the second one. The second 4 steps that I always talk about, especially this one was last year. This is 2020. I started this last year when I was addressing more of people who come to me, yeah, because I'm a psychologist, right? So I conduct counseling and therapy session. So, sometimes people are so busy. Yeah, you cannot, suggest or teach them complicated scoping skill. So this is the 4 simple one I came up. And again, yeah, you know me by now. I like to use simple terms so that we can remember. Just now was SELF. This one is LOVE because this is under the category of relationship with other people, the skills in managing our relationship, and of course, love is one of the most important ingredients in all relationships, couple relationship, family relationship, and even you can apply these 4 steps in any type of relationship. Parent, child, sibling, fellow colleagues, or fellow neighbors and friends, we can actually apply these 4. Let me quickly run through these 4. The first one, L, listen compassionately. Yeah, this is the biggest setback in all our relationship, because in communication, a lot of us actually are so self-absorbed in our stresses and challenges, we are not able to listen attentively and compassionately to whoever that is talking to us. So listen compassionately, non-judgmentally, very important. Another L I want to park under this L is let go of the past. This is very important in all relationship. Yeah, we must learn to let go of all the past conflict, grudges, fight, so on and so forth, and especially in couple relationship. If one of the partner, keep taking back what has happened in the past, yeah, in the current argument, yeah, or the current confrontation, is going to blow up that conflict or that confrontation further. Yeah, so this part, of course, letting go of the past is a huge topic again. It's talking about forgiveness, yeah, especially the area of forgiveness. Yeah, huge area. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that. I don't have time. Let's go to the second one. Second practice under relationship with others is O, open and honest with each other. Can we be open and honest with each other? Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, if our healthy self is there, yeah, what I described just now, if our healthy self is there, naturally it's much more easier for us to be very open and honest with the other person in our relationship. Yeah, because we have managed to settle, our, guilt, regret, grudges, and everything from the past. Yeah, so that's why this open and honest with each other is important. And another O I park under this is observant of each other. Sorry, couple or couple that has been married for some time, or when children has arrived, a lot of times they have forgotten to go back to the couple relationship. Yeah, all the focus was zoomed down on the children. Not to say that it's wrong. Yeah, of course, we need to focus on our children and love them and care for them. But the couple relationship still need to be maintained. And a lot of times, couple actually forgotten or neglect this area of being observant and caring for each other. And it can jeopardize the couple relationship. V, validate each other. So again, do we forget to acknowledge and accept each other? Yeah, acknowledge and accept our thoughts, emotion, our needs and wants, yeah, in our relationship. That's validation, right? So a lot of times again, especially in couple relationship, yeah, the forgetting to validate each other can lead to the relationship getting more and more distant. Yeah, another V, valiant. My valiant here, the definition refer to brave and courageous in relationship. Yeah, this is where again the first part when I talk about the express yourself comes in. When we are in relationship, yeah, are we able to express, to each other assertively? Yeah, taking the risk, be brave and courageous, taking risk to actually highlight each other's limitation, but of course, not forgetting to validate each other's strength. Yeah, so are we able to do these 2 V? Yeah, so that is V. My last one, yeah, is actually talking about empathize. Yeah, naturally. Yeah, if we are able to empathize with each other, and empathy refer to we try our best. I try my best to understand what's going on with you, or I try my best to be in your shoe. Yeah, that's empathy. That's able to empathize, right? So in a relationship, yeah, if we are able to do this empathizing, naturally, our connection, yeah, is going to be much more strong. Our bonding is going to be much more strong. And my last E is actually referred to good enough. Yeah, so in all relationship, please, yeah, remember about good enough, contentment. Please, I've seen a lot of couple competing with each other in their career, yeah, and the loving couple they used to be, yeah, as they progresses in their marriage and in their career. Sometimes that's where the marriage get into trouble because they become competing, somehow or other, yeah. So or judgmental in their relationship, yeah. So this good enough is another huge area to look at in terms of our value to practice in our life, yeah. So, okay, I feel like a choo-choo train covering this four. Maybe it's just too much to cover 4+4. But I hope, yeah, in my fast manner, what I've shared with you, 4+4, makes sense. And this is where I will give back to Chantal, and let's do some question, yeah, for our audience. And that's what people like about webinar, right? To be able to ask question to the speaker of the day. Yeah. So Chantal, over to you.
Yes, Key. Right. Now, everyone who's watching out there, I mean, you've heard of Miyen talking about 4+4, right? So, if you wanted to remember what is the 4+4, let me put it out for you again, right? The first is the self. That's the self-care, express yourself, fulfillment self. So it's really about yourself, and then it goes to the healthy couple and the healthy family. Yeah. Now, so do you have any questions at all, anyone? Any questions at all that you want to ask on me to Miyen? Oh, there is one question. There is Rini say, is there a replay to watch it over again? Oh, yes, there is. Yes, there is a replay. It's on the Facebook Live and also on YouTube. So once the live is over, you can always rewatch it again on YouTube or on Facebook as well. Yeah. Now, is there anybody who have any questions that you want to ask? Remember, there is anonymous, right? You can be able to ask any questions here, being anonymous, because sometimes I know that it could be quite sensitive, so no worries. You can submit your questions anonymously, and I will actually paste the link here. And you can be able to key in any questions that you have on this anonymous, and we won't say any names. If you have any questions that you want to ask on the relationships, yeah, please do ask. Yeah. While we're waiting for any questions, okay. Probably one question I'd like to ask me, and that
Yes.
during this pandemic, right, that you've gone through, what are the actually what do you see are the most challenges that families actually face?
Okay. Talking about that, Chantal, is very interesting. My Facebook memory today popped up. Yeah, 22nd of March last year, I actually posted, a few PowerPoint slides. The summary that I extracted from my reading from the Harvard Business Review, talking about working from home for dual working parent or married couple or single. They actually cover all, yeah. So dual working parent with children, which is the most stressful, yeah, compared to the married couple, no children, and even the single person. We cannot say that they don't have stress, but all these three groups actually will face different stress, yeah. So in fact, I invite those who are watching today, you can actually go to my Facebook, which is Miyen Lo. Search for me there very easily. You can download the PowerPoint slide that I actually posted last year. Yeah, so I actually did a memory shared today on my Facebook. So you can actually download that. Yeah. So Chantal, this is relevant to your question, is because it's interestingly 1 year down the road. Yeah, today is 1 year down the road when I spoke about working from home. I would say that the basic struggle for a lot of parents, yeah, especially those with children, would be when the children are at home, when we are locked down. It is caring for the children, basic care, their education, and of course, inclusive of ongoing our work, because we are working parents, and for some of us, inclusive of elderly care. Yeah, I think all of us, our Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, yeah. I see a lot of friends from Philippines. Yeah, and my friend is here, Angela is here. Yeah, so our basic family system is actually similar. Yeah, we have the 3 generation in a house, right? So therefore, that struggle of the multiple need, yeah, from a person, be it the father or the mother, can be very tremendous. 1 year later down the road now, some of the city or some of the country, we are semi-lockdown or children have returned to school and so on and so forth. So perhaps lesser of the children care. But then the tremendous fear of the children getting infected in school will be another round. Yeah, so the way I see it is that these three areas of care, caring for the children, the elderly, and of course we ourselves as a couple, will be ongoing as long as this whole pandemic is not being curbed. Yeah, and the way I think we are going in Southeast Asia country in terms of vaccination, it's going to take up till perhaps end of this year for us to perhaps to feel safer. So a lot of us still need to be vigilant, yeah, into staying safe, following the SOP, and caring for this three area that I talk about, which is tremendous. And some of us have even much more area to cover compared to the three I mentioned. So therefore, back to equipping ourselves with our own coping skill first to be healthy. If we ourselves are healthy, SELF, if we ourselves are healthy, so hopefully, if I'm healthy, my spouse is a bit stressed, at least I can support my spouse. Yeah, but hopefully that's where I want to have me healthy, spouse healthy. So when me and spouse healthy, the papa and mama healthy, then hopefully then we will be able to attend to our children or our elderly parents healthily. So as a family system, at least we keep that intact. Yeah, and that naturally will help us, in performing in our work. It is sad, Chantal, I see that a lot of workplace may not be that aware yet that they need to invest on helping their individual employee to cope before focusing on productivity, or we need to catch up. The pandemic now is better, we need to catch up because we have a lot of losses during the lockdown. But it's like, penny wise, pound foolish, our traditional British quote, right? Penny wise, pound foolish. You're pushing at the wrong area, because if your individual employee is stressed out, you're not going to, at all the family level are not being cared for, they are not going to be a happy, productive employee at workplace. I'm sorry.
Yes, and that's very true. I mean, we do have some organizations that have, but like you said, again, it's not all the organizations, and that's why in some sense we do hope to try to bring this also to all the other organizations to make them know that you need to have some awareness in this, because if not, it's going to be stressful, and when you're stressed, you can't work very well. Now, there's one question from Suru Chana.
Okay.
Suru Chana asks on how to practice gratitude in my daily life.
Okay, very good question. 3 steps again. Yeah, I don't know why psychologists like 3-step, 4-step. Yeah, and this is not from me. Yeah, Sulochana. Wow, this is a very beautiful, interesting name. But I'm going to share with you what Professor Dr. Martin Seligman, one of the co-founder of Positive Psychology School, yeah, he has been researching on the area of gratitude for the past 20 years, and he suggested 3 good things in life. Yeah, and what are the 3 good things in life, or how to practice these 3 gratitude? The 3 gratitude practice involve, first, be grateful when something good happens. Of course, that's easy. When something good happens, we rejoice in it. Yeah, so be grateful when something good happens. That's the first good thing. The second good thing, very interestingly, he pointed out, be grateful too when we have things in life that is so mundane, but we take it for granted. So it is also important for us to reflect on mundane things that we take for granted, and intentionally say our gratitude or thanks to it. For example, maybe a colleague of mine always helped me to buy food from the cafeteria in my company. Yeah, whenever I'm busy rushing a report, she'll buy food for me. Apart from saying thank you to her when she passed the food to me, do I remember her in my prayers at night, that I would even pray for her and her family, to be healthy and safe. Yeah. So apart from our, I'm sorry to say, maybe, not even like 1 second of thank you, but this is really, being able to reflect and rejoice in thanking, yeah, a help or a action that somebody has performed to us, or maybe it's so ordinary and mundane, we can actually forgotten about it. So the second area is to be grateful for things that we take for granted, or even simple things that be grateful when the weather is good. Thank you. Today we have breezed. The last few days it has been so hot. We appreciate the nature. Second good things in life. The third good things in life we talk about is be grateful even when things went wrong. When something went wrong, something bad happened, or we struggle with something, apart from, of course, focusing on, working out on that difficult situation, we would want to remember to be grateful that when we struggle through this difficult situation, yeah, we actually learn something from it, or there are people who help us in this struggle, yeah, and this is even higher practice, yeah, for us to be able to be thankful and grateful even when things went wrong. So this is the 3 official gratitude practice, yeah, that is actually taught by Professor Martin Seligman, yeah. So that's how we can practice gratitude, and you can practice it in different way. Every night before you go to sleep, or it can be ad hoc, at any time that somebody do a nice thing for you, in your heart, even though you don't have time, you just wave, to the person, say thank you, but in your heart, like I say, do a bit furthermore, yeah, reflect on it, and say thank you, or even share a prayer with the person. Yeah, remember SELF, I stressed a lot on the fulfillment of self, the spirituality part. So I hope that makes sense for you to practice gratitude, and you can Google Seligman, Seligman, Martin Seligman. Yeah, plenty of research, psychological, scientific research that have proven that gratitude practice increase our happiness by 25%.
Wow. So everybody, gratitude practice. Yeah. So Chana, I hope that answers your questions. Yeah. We've got quite a bit of questions coming in. It's anonymous questions that are coming in. All right. We'll try to go through. So let me share one of the anonymous questions there is here. Sorry, wrong one. Hold on, let me find that. Okay, here, there's a question. What would be the possible impact to the child if both couples have different ways of coping with this pandemic?
Oh, yes, yes, yeah. This is where aligned family responses towards this pandemic is so important. Yeah, I spoke about this from last year, March, about self-responsibility, aligned family responses, yeah, leading to country recovery in our pandemic. Yeah, so and this is where if both couple have different parenting style, it will confuse the child even further, or worse, the child may actually, a very smart child will know how to play on mom or dad to get what he or she wants. Yeah, because mom and dad, they are not aligned. The decision that they make is different. So if you can get dad to side you or mom to side you, then you can get what you want. And this is not healthy for the child to learn. Yeah. So therefore, back to the couple first and back to parenting. And I think, Chantel, you need to organize a separate webinar on parenting skill itself to talk about this, because parents, the two parents, you all must work out your differences. And there are ways, of course, that we always teach parents to do that, even with questionnaire and do all that, yeah, for you to align your parenting. Once you are aligned, then naturally your child will be more clear, yeah, and able to learn from you, because your alignment is also very important to show that Papa and Mama, are collaborative, and instead of confronting each other all the time, arguing in front of the child because of the different opinion, yeah, towards what the child is requesting, yeah. So please, parenting part, alignment needs to be done, or parenting skill, we need to look into it. Yeah, if the parents here are struggling with that, yeah, so that we will not further impact the child. And of course, the biggest impact we have seen in the children in this pandemic is that the unfortunate part about the dual working parents. Both of them are so stressed out or so overwhelmed with the increased workload. They are at home, but daddy is sitting one side, mommy is sitting one side, and they are stuck to their laptop, working, 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 working. Even the child or the children in the hall, living hall, is playing or crying or whatever, yeah, or neglected, yeah. So that is a sad, impact of the pandemic or the working from home. Yeah, because when the parents are working those days before lockdown, the children are perhaps at the daycare, there are teachers there, there are fellow friends that they can play with, So, and it's a different kind of socialization and bond building compared to, if a one child at home or sibling at home, and then the both parents, is self-absorbed, in their work. Yeah, so that emotional or psychological neglect, that impact on the child is actually tremendous. Yeah, I have to counsel many parents on this area too. Yeah, I don't work with children because I'm a more of an adult psychologist. So usually it's attending to the parent. Yeah, but I've seen that, that makes the parents struggle even more when they see their child stressed out or the impact of all this. And, it will become a much more vicious cycle of stress within the family. Yeah, so that's how I will answer this question in a brief manner. But you need to have the parenting discussion
Yes.
later on.
So we do plan actually for parenting, because that's actually one of the needs that is took up from the survey, right? So it is one part, but we'll go it one step, and we need to catch Miyen's time, right? And later as well, after this, later I'll share that you can have topics that you want to hear about. We actually open it up. We try to find for you guys as well, or you ladies. Or, what are the topics that you need, especially during this pandemic. Now there's more questions that are coming up. I'll just show you some questions here. Synonymous is that I get easily frustrated and my temper is short now. How can I cope? Thank you.
Okay. Firstly, remember the L, the SELF, the L that I talk about, loving yourself without loving others without losing yourself, is that, when you are frustrated or get angry easily, is because you are very stressed, tired inside. Yeah, and very struggling inside. And the unfortunate outburst is this, yeah, and that will impact relationship. So of course, this is where, of course, I can only answer it generally, yeah, for the person who's asking this, because only in individual consultation we can look deeper and troubleshoot in a more refined manner. But overall, yeah, very important, need to face the stressor, yeah, or the sources of the stress, yeah. Go and identify the sources of the stress, yeah, and look at, are there possible way to resolve those stresses, yeah. And then stress coping steps, actually the SELF that I gave you is already a stress coping 4-step. Yeah, if you start with the first one, whatever it is, making sure that you are okay physically, at least you remember to drink water, remember to eat, yeah, please get some sleep, yeah. The more you don't sleep, you're going to get worse in terms of your temper, anger, the emotional state is going to get worse. There's the first S, self-care. Go back to that. That has to be practiced, yeah, to manage these emotional challenges that you asked here, yeah. So, and second one, do you need help? Yeah, if you need help in whatever the challenges that you're facing, this is where the express yourself come in. Need to find resources to help you, yeah. And of course, the third one, the loving others without losing yourself, self-compassion. Please don't beat up yourself further whenever you blow up or you lose yourself, and you snap at somebody or scream at somebody or scream at your children. Yeah, if that already happened, the first thing you want to do is calm down and soothe yourself and forgive yourself first. That is the self-compassion part. Yeah, because the more you beat up yourself, criticize yourself, judge yourself, it's going to be worse. That's why the self-compassion piece is critical. Please, I will invite you guys to on and off check onto my Facebook, especially I have a Facebook page called Mindful Spa. Yeah, Mindful, Mindful, Mindful dash SPA. It refers to, or I dedicate that page to actually share a lot about self-compassion practice. Yeah. So very quickly today, I can only give you this few recapping on the SELF. Yeah. But of course, there are many more different coping skill, which sometimes can be quite specific to apply to different people. But of course, we can only do that in individual consultation. So wherever you are, maybe you want to start by talking to a consultant or counselors. Yeah, even start with those helpline, anonymous free helpline available by the government or the community. Yeah, so you can talk to somebody first. At least that is the first step of getting help to manage these, emotional challenges that is overwhelming you. Yeah. So that is what I could say to this person, Chantal.
Okay. Well, thank you. So I hope that's helpful. And sometimes also I think that for me as a working mom, sometimes I get that at certain times, especially. And there's later a question. Now, let's go to the next
Yeah.
question. Now, someone said here, if asked, if
Mm.
what if communication will just lead into fights and will not resolve the problem in the end? So maybe you can
Yeah.
help to answer this.
Okay. This one, I'm going to say that again, the area of conflict resolution and mediation. Yeah, this is a skill that unfortunately, our workplace will arrange of different kind of training for us, but this area of training, this soft skill, conflict resolution and mediation skill, it is what is needed by all of us. Yeah, and naturally, if at that point of communication both parties are reactive, yeah, and not calm, it will not lead to a solution. And in fact, it's best to postpone that discussion to another day. Yeah, and in fact, it was very interesting. Yesterday, Sunday, yeah, I was actually conducting a half-day workshop on conflict resolution and mediation, and I have my 5 steps of win-win way to resolve a conflict. But of course, all that refer to communication skill. Yeah. So what I can answer is that please go and find out any available training. Yeah, on effective communication or even more direct one on conflict resolution and mediation. Yeah, those are the skills that you can actually pick up, and that will definitely be helpful whenever we are caught in a situation that may lead to a conflict or a fight or a confrontation. We would know better how to handle it. Yeah, that's how I'll answer this person, Chantel. Yeah, because it's a huge question.
Yes, it is a huge question. Yeah,
Mm,
thank you to everyone here as well, because we've got quite a bit of questions. So we will try to actually answer all your questions. If you don't mind, actually, we will actually prolong the time as well for the webinar and trying to put as much as questions as possible within probably additional 10 over minutes. Yeah. So if everyone is okay with it, please do stay on and put a thumbs up or send love or claps to us as well. Now there's one question here. I'll just show
mm.
it up here. Okay, I'm suffering from depression and anxiety because of my superiors in office. I'm suffering this for 2 years. Is it a good decision that I'll transfer to? Is it a good decision that I'll transfer to other departments?
Okay. Okay. I'm very mindful how I want to answer this. Yeah, because Chantel, I do provide a lot of consultation at workplace. Yeah. In fact, my expertise and forte is actually in employee assistance program. Yeah, a workplace behavioral health program. And, this will be a situation where I think you know this, Chantel, is that a lot of people leave their job because of the bosses. Yeah, it's not the company or not even the workload, but it's because the relationship with the superior or the bosses. Yeah, so a lot of time is very tricky because in terms of every company, there are organizational or political, current. Yeah, so depending on where you are, which level you are in that organization, yeah, it can be very tricky, yeah, for you to fight for the right thing to be done, yeah, and so on and so forth. In fact, sometimes it's actually best to get out from there. Yeah, which, like you say, transfer to a different department, or some people actually prefer to just resign and start new in a different organization. Yeah, so but I can only answer this in general because I'm not doing mediation work here, because to be fair, we also need to find out what's happening at the superior side, right? So when I do management consultation at workplace, I do sessions with the employee, I do sessions with the manager, I do sessions with the HR, so that we will actually know. Yeah, but from this general question here, I would say that if personally you feel that this relationship with the superior or bosses is not going to change, yeah, then I cannot tolerate anymore. For your own health, of course, yeah, get out from there.
Maybe can I just add on as well, because this person said transfer to another department. Probably I want to add is that because when you transfer to another department, the organization's culture is it's the same, right? If you do go to another department, for example, because in honest truth, when we work in a whole organization, we are all definitely tied to each other, even though you worked in another department, right? So will your superiors in your office, will there be any other things that you still have to connect them with, or is it the whole culture, as Miyen, you mentioned that even a deep dive, is it what would be the exact reasons, right? And if let's say, for example, if you see that if you go to another department, and it will be the same because of the whole culture, and also because I think subconsciously you already have, the thinking, and you meet the same people. So I'm not sure on whether that will also impact you, right? So, I would say that you need to see whether it's department, or like Miyen said, is resign from organization. But before you resign, definitely another thing I would always say is always to look into your finances, because as well as because if you're a breadwinner, you need to look into the finances, especially if you're a family. Yeah, so for that part also, I would say that, but that would be, but if you're really like mentally, just leave and it will work out, right? And if you still need any help, you can always reach out to us on LinkedIn. All right. For my side, I usually help some of my clients who needs to search for people. And from my side, if I have anybody who I know who's looking for jobs, I try to match them up. I'm not a matchmaker, but this is just what I do to just try to help out anybody else in the pandemic. So you can follow me, Chantel V at LinkedIn, right? Or you can message me. Yeah. So there's more questions here that's coming up. Hold on, let me let me trace down on the questions. Yeah. Okay, here now. I get frustrated and stressed easily when my youngest one is messy around. How do I handle this type of situation?
Okay, let's park this for the parenting webinar, Chantel. Yeah, let's park this for the parenting webinar. Yeah.
Okay, so to anyone, to the people, the person who actually wrote this, you need to follow us. All right, People Hive. I'll give you the link, and then you need to, and I'll let you know about when the parenting session is coming up. Okay, all right. Next question. It's about self-care. How can I cope with mental stress and anxiety while also dealing with homesickness? I'm living far away from my parents and loved ones. Okay.
Oh,
I'll pass on
yes.
to you.
Yes, and in fact, last year itself, I do have quite a number of referral from local Malaysian company who actually has expatriate. Yeah, so naturally, they can't go home because expatriate usually they will get to go home, yeah, once or twice a year. But because of the pandemic situation, some of them has not been home for a year or even more than a year. So homesickness is naturally is going to be there. Yeah, so this is where, to the best that we can is, of course, our virtual video call with our parents and loved one is the best that we can do. Yeah, but very interestingly too, this is where, I think all of us, because of this pandemic, we must learn to change our mindset. to change our mindset that the physical engagement or even the physical hug is needed. Yeah, of course, all those are still important, but because we can't, we need to shift our mindset that our engagement with our loved ones, even though it's virtual, it still can be done if we practice LOVE, right? Because if we are listening attentively, compassionately, lovingly, even when we are on Zoom call with our loved ones, in another different country, yeah. So our bonding and connection is there, no matter what. And when we talk to each other on the Zoom call, yeah, we are able to talk about things openly, honestly, we can have long call, to really chit chat and catch up, So that's where I stress on the LOVE in relationship, because if we really practice that, our bonding with each other, can be there, even though we are not physically with each other, yeah. So I hope probably this person who asked that, pick one of the LOVE, work on that with your loved one, yeah, that's far away from you, and see whether help you to alleviate a little bit the homesickness. Yeah, yeah. See whether, especially the L, listen compassionately, or even E. Yeah, we empathize with each other. Yeah, we are in different countries. We are in lockdown. Yeah, but this is good enough for us. This is good enough for us. Our Zoom call is good enough for us. Yeah. So let us just work with what we have. Yeah. So that's how I'll answer this person, Chantel.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so remember the love, right, that Miyen has shared. I've got another question. Majalah, Mangan Majalah.
Mm.
Um, COVID-19 cases in Philippines continues to rise with more than 8,000 today. Wow. We are
Wow.
not in lockdown, but mandates workplace to reduce the number of employees that report to work to 30%.
30%.
Yeah, and she has another question. What would be the best response by HR due to this situation in Philippines?
Oh, Angela, you asked me a big question. Yeah, okay. So I guess it's back to the basic that hopefully HR would play the role to continue the awareness, the reminder to all the employees to stay safe, stay healthy, follow SOP, yeah, and things like what I talked today, SELF and LOVE, for them to practice individually, because especially when the infection rate is surging, right? Malaysia was surging high in January with 5,000 plus a day. For a small country like us, that is big. Yeah, we are so small compared to Philippines. Yeah, but 5,000 plus a day infection is huge. Yeah. So what is still best? Yeah, because we can't wait for the government policy in terms of lockdown, full lockdown, semi-lockdown, or whatever lockdown. Yeah, if each of us individually and then at the family level, we continue to please keep ourselves safe. Yeah, then at least we can be assured that the effort is there, that collective effort can be there to curb further infection. Yeah, so that's why I keep on stressing. Majella, I think you know this, right? I talk about this since last year, March, about self-responsibility, my 3 Rs. Yeah, self-responsibility, followed by family-aligned responses. Yeah, hopefully that will lead to country or community recovery, the 3R. Yeah, responsibility, aligned responses, and recovery. Yeah, so that is still going to be important to drive, based on your question, at a company level by HR, by leadership, yeah, and the employee awareness. Of course, not only all the awareness talk, but it has to be followed with availability of individual employee consultation to support them in their individual condition or circumstances. Yeah, because I talk a lot about the express yourself. Please ask for help, reach out for help. If they reach out for help and we do not have resources available for them, then it is also the setback in terms of our company or even our community or country if we do not have sufficient helplines to support them, yeah, at their individual level or at their family level. Yeah, so in short, I think as a company, they need to look at the wide scale of awareness and education and the much more in-depth scale of supporting respective employee that really needs help. So if we could provide that, hopefully that will be able to keep the employee population as safe and as healthy as possible during high infection surge. Yeah, that's how I will answer Magella, Chantal.
Okay, thank you. Hope that answer your questions, Magella. We have a few more questions as well, so we need to. So yeah, because it's like
let's see, we can cover.
Yeah, because I'm trying to respect everybody's time, but hopefully all of you are okay for us to quickly go through as many questions as we can to help. The next question is, when's the best time for a couple to talk about issues or other unresolved issues?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's because please make sure never in front of the children. Never in front of the children. That's number one. Yeah. Second is, in fact, dedicate a time. Yeah. In fact, we do it all the time in a company for our project review, right? Once a week, we have our project management review, right? But why are we not dedicating a half an hour a week for a couples review? Yeah, or even as a family, Papa, Mama, and the children can sit down for a family review once a week, right? So that we make sure that we reach out to each other at least once a week to see where we are, each of us. So this is where the children naturally will be not neglected in that sense when we have our family review. Yeah, so and that's where Papa Mama can check in with the children, each of them, and as a family we talk about what's happening to us this week, or what help do we need moving forward in the coming week, or what is the lesson learned of what we were struggling with this week. Yeah, so we do a family review, and of course the couple review have to be separated from the children. Yeah, because it's a different area. Yeah, couples review, family review is what I would suggest. Dedicate time, yeah, perhaps over the weekend. For couple one, it could be the most important part is that do it when the children is not around, maybe after they have gone to bed. So that's where two of you can actually talk about it and have a session together about it. Yeah. So there's no the right time, but what are the workable time for both of you having all this into consideration? Yeah, that's what I would suggest.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Miyen. We're taking one last the question here. What alternative can you suggest in dealing with stress and anxiety besides alcohol? For it's taking a toll to my physical health.
Okay, yeah. It's very interesting. Yesterday I attended a webinar. Wow, yesterday Sunday was a busy day for me, and it was a regional regional webinar. You know that Chantal, is so interesting that South Korea has reported lower consumption of alcohol throughout 2020 during the pandemic, because apparently their alcohol drinking is more social drinking, because now everything locked down. So after work they cannot go and have their bibimbap and drink alcohol. Yeah, so it's very interesting that the statistic reported that alcohol drinking has dropped in South Korea, but the American presenter actually say that of course in America alcohol issue has actually arisen higher last year. So perhaps it's more individual drinking for them in America. Yeah, so that the South Korean are more of a group or socialized kind of drinking. So it's interesting statistic yesterday during the regional webinar that I attended. So sorry I diverted a bit, but I thought this piece of statistic will be quite interesting for us. And I think today our webinar is quite regional too. Yeah, I think mostly we are Southeast Asia, because I see Malaysian, Singapore, Philippines colleagues here. Yeah. So to answer Virgil is that If you love yourself enough, you would know that alcohol is going to jeopardize your health. This is a self-compassion piece. As a self-compassion is a very deep practice, that realizing that you are struggling, but yet, you do not want to hurt yourself further. Yeah, because of stress and anxiety, because the easy way out is, of course, alcohol, smoking, or even drug taking, yeah, to actually, numb the emotional hurt or pain that we have, yeah, because all this, is usually used to numb the emotional hurt or pain that we have, but it's actually temporary and short term. Yeah, the next morning when you wake up, yeah, after the alcohol effect is over, the same emotional struggle is still going to be there. Yeah, so therefore I advocate that express yourself, search for good confidential helpline, talk to a consultant to look at how to deal with your stresses and anxiety. Yeah, troubleshoot that way. Go back to look at identifying the sources of stress or the parties involved in your stress. Yeah, what kind of relationship manning that have to be done, yeah, to resolve this situation. Yeah, rather than hurting yourself further by drinking alcohol. Yeah, that's why the SELF. Yeah, today, that's why I say for the last 10 years, I have been talking about SELF, because SELF hopefully is the one that keeping us sane. Yeah, save my sanity, right? That's Chantel's tagline for her series. Yeah, so definitely we need to save our sanity first. Yeah, and please try your best to go back to relook at the SELF that I proposed today. That would be the best way to handle this alcohol situation, alcohol drinking situation. Yeah. Over to you,
Like that.
Chantal.
Yeah, thanks, Miyen. Hope that answers your questions, Vijay, and yeah, so our timing as well. So we're gonna do the recap. Is like we have the self and we have the, so you need to have compassion for yourself, right? Then you're able to have a very healthy relationship with others and your family members. So that's the main thing. You have to be healthy yourself. You have to have your self-love, self-compassion for yourself, that everything else would be a lot easier. Yeah. So that's the summary for for today. And before that, what we're gonna do is that just to share, we have a next topic that is coming up. All right. I'll just post it in here. Um, it's about women and money management mindset. Okay, that's a topic that's gonna be coming up. All right, because especially usually the man will be the one who will be managing the money, but right now we have the women, especially the wives, because there was quite a lot of requests for this topic. All right, mainly because that the breadwinners will actually lose some, kind of have the pay cuts or lose their jobs. So basically, male and female needs to be good in money management. However, for this, we're open to women. There's women and men as well. So even though our topic's women, men, you guys can join in too, all right? For any of our other events, you can actually check us out. I'm going to put a link here. Do follow us on our Facebook and also on our LinkedIn, right? Then you can be able to see our events, because I'm gonna have more of these events, but it's not gonna be every week. Yeah, so we're gonna probably do it like once or twice a month, right? So please do like us on our Facebook, and you will be able to see all our events that we'll be having, right? And if you like to learn on Miyen, I'll paste it here again. This is the speaker for Miyen's, her LinkedIn and her Facebook page. Now, to everyone else, just to let you know that I will also be trying to use this Save My Sanity for a longer series, right? I'm trying to have it as long as I can as well. So what I need to do, if you are interested to have any topics that you would like to learn about, you can actually key in. I'm going to share the link here. Do go in and list down the topics that you would like to learn, all right? And we'll try to find speakers for you. Some may be free, some may be not, depending on the speakers like Miyen. She's really sweet and nice to share all this with all of us for free. Yeah. And thank you so much. So to anyone else, do list in the topics that you would like to learn, and we will try to get back to you. And definitely we will have one on parenting, where I'm trying to grab Miyen to come in and try to catch the time, all right? So to everybody else, thank you so much, and thank you so much, Miyen, once again.
Welcome, welcome.
So thank you everyone for joining our webinar, and I hope you've really learned a lot from Miyen. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Have a good day. Bye.